Welcome back to the blog. We're now on episode 5 of the engine reinstall. Welcome to my new subscribers. Nev, I know you're watching, and at last I'm in double figures, so whoopee. I don't think I'm going to get 1 million anytime soon, but it's a start. Progress report. Since the last video I've sort of finished the ECU wiring beside me. We've had some deliveries which we'll go on to next. Right, so what we've got here is the exhaust wrap, 2-inch, I think it's 50 foot long, and stainless steel ties to hold it in place on the exhaust manifold. The gold heat reflective tape to go on the bulkhead. I'll have to try and flatten that out a bit. And then I've got a DSN filter head with the hole for the oil temperature sensor. That's the adapter for the sensor, and that's just the oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's a joiner that I ordered. That's for the what's that for? Heater pipe. Yeah, that's it. Because I've got two different sizes of heater pipe. The one on the head, which I showed previously in another video, was 1/2 inch, whereas the actual heater hose is 5/8. So that's what that's for. Obviously it comes with the proper gasket, and that is the clear heat shrink that I'm going to use on the injector plug leads. Right, so the first thing to test is whether the adapter and the filter head is going to work. I guessed when I ordered it that the two parts I ordered, the filter head there and this part, the adapter, is going to work. The idea is that there's two versions of this. There's a short version and a long version, and I knew that was quite long on the well, that's the temperature bulb, I think you would call it, something like that, but I knew it was quite long, so I had to figure or guess whether it was going to be the long one or the short one, and I didn't want it projecting too far down into the filter head, so I've gone with the longer one, which is that one. So that should screw into there. It's right thread, it's the 5/8 version. Again, that was a guess. And it just does reach to the end. Just sticks through a little bit. And that should be alright. Because the idea is it sticks down through there. And you can see the hole in there. That's where the oil passes through. So that is just going to be in the air, not the airflow, in the oil flow. So I think we're going to be alright. Maybe a shorter one might have been better, but all I can do is try it and see how it goes on. So that'll just screw into there, like so, and it should be alright for clearance on the alternator, because the alternator's far enough that way. But we'll see. And then I'm hoping that the other pipe, the oil transfer pipe, is just going to screw straight onto there once I get the adapter off the other filter head. There's an adapter goes in there, and according to DSN's website and Mini Spares, they're both the same thread, which is a 1/4 inch MPT. So fingers crossed that should all go together. Just got to go and get that other adapter off the other filter head where I left that at. So I can do that, assemble that, put it all on. I can finish off these throttle body wires here. You can sort of see them like so. What I'm going to do is I'll put the labels on. Got a label machine and some tape there. Hoping 6mm is going to be small enough. I'll print a little label on there that says, put it on there that says injector 1, put the heat shrink over it and shrink it into place, and that way less chance, hopefully, of getting them all mixed up. So injector 1, 2, 3 and 4, and wherever I put the air temperature on. Oh, that's the air temperature. The 4 injectors there. That's the air temperature sensor that's going to stick through there. And then once all the labels are on and the plugs here are all on, it's going to get tucked down the back of there and through to the injector plugs, which are in the back there. You can hardly see them. It's going to be much neater than any other way. I can't really have it round the front, coming round the front and tucking under them, because I've got no gap there, and then the filter base plate and the filters are going to be on the front here. And that's another thing I've got to be aware of, whether the filter's going to fit, because the mini spares one is 35mm deep and the aftermarket one's a minimum of 40, and when you look at the distance between the base plate here and where the bonnet line is, there's not much room, so it's going to be a case of do all this, put the base plate on, put the filter on. I've got an old 40mm filter, put the bonnet, or the old bonnet on, and just see if it's going to clear. If not, I might have to use the air filter off the other 8-port, which is the mini spares 30mm one, and then put the 40mm thick one that I'm going to buy on the other 8-port, because the engine sits further back and it's got a lot more room to the bonnet. So crack on with that. Next, wiring, filter head, and that might be it by the end of today. Right, so that's the heat shrink put on the injector wires. Didn't really work exactly as I envisaged it. The first one, I put the label on lengthways and then put the heat shrink on, and because this was such a small diameter, the heat shrink didn't really shrink down quite as far as it was advertised as shrinking, so it made a bit of a mess, and I had to nip it with my fingers. But it does the job, and nobody's ever going to see it. Then on the second ones I did, I put the label on the opposite way around, and the label didn't move this time. And then put a bit of heat shrink on beforehand to bulk it up a bit, so that when the outer heat shrink shrank down, it didn't have as far to go. And it's made a lot better seal this time. So that's injectors 1, 2, cable. Three and 4. So the next job will be to put these end plugs on and all the connectors, and then tuck it away under there, avoiding the temperature sensor cable for the oil, which is now there. I'll have to find a permanent home for that, out of the way of the air filter blanking plate that's going to be in here. So I'll tuck that away, I don't know, somewhere. I'll have to find room, bend it round under the blanking plate or so, under the filter back plate or something like that. I don't really know yet. We'll see how it's going to work. Perhaps something like that, because the base plate comes down across the front of here, down to about there somewhere, just below the fuel rail, so it should be alright. But yeah, next job will be to put these in injector plugs on and then get it all connected up. I might yet look at changing the injectors to something a bit bigger, because I do remember I found a post on the internet the other night where I'd worked out the BHP that these injectors would supply, and it was only about 115 at 100% duty. So I don't know, perhaps should look for something a bit bigger. We do have some off the Saxo, I think, but I'll have to find out just again what these CC are and what CC the other ones we have. I might end up buying a set of 4 just to be on the safe side, so when I do the mapping session I'm not going to run out of injectors again like we did on the 1380. Even though this is 1293, but the valves are bigger and all that sort of stuff, so don't know, we'll have to see how we go. So that's one done. Just got to do 4 injectors now, and then that'll be it. Right, so that's the injector and air inlet temperature wiring finished. All the respective plugs, boots, etc. are on. So the next job, before I put that in its final position, will be to take off his fuel rail, drop it down out of the way, remove the injectors, and fit some bigger ones, make sure the ones I put in are the right size. So I'll get them ordered tonight. Hopefully should come sometime this next week, get them whacked in, and then next job after that I think will be the exhaust manifold and wrapping of that. Manifold's over there ready, just over there, you can see it leaning up against the shelving. So get that wrapped and dropped in, and also you see it down there, do that bulkhead, get that wrapped with that gold coloured tape just to protect it a bit, because it's it does get very hot down there and it's also very scratched, so it'll help to tidy it up.